Hey, you guys, I am so excited to have you on this chat today. We had some technical difficulties. Don't ask. We don't really know what happened, but we're actually filming this right now for you to listen into. I am really excited to have my business partner, John Ryan, on here. You guys, he is incredible. He really impressed me, last month, maybe a couple months ago, is when we met, and ever since then I've just been really excited about this opportunity and about Seacret. So today we're going to kind of sit down just for a few minutes and have a discussion about, why Seacret and why is now the time to join, which actually is a really good time to join, just so you know. So we're going to just dive right in and talk about this incredible opportunity and this incredible company. So first off, I wanted John, would you kind of share like a background of your story? Like, you have an incredible resume, but could you tell us more?
Well, sure, Michaela, and thanks a lot. And I tell you, I've been so excited about you being a part of our team and a part of our company, and bringing on this new excitement and built really this young, energetic focus that we're going for here. My background, I'm a clinical social worker, ended up with a master's degree in clinical social work, work with families in crisis and a lot of other different type of disciplines within that arena. Always enjoying business. I just absolutely love business, and I've had my fingers in the network marketing arena for over 40 years. And through the process of doing traditional business, I've owned a franchise. I built a big business in the San Francisco Bay Area. I've always played in the network marketing industry, and I use that word play because that's what I did for the first 10 years. I didn't take it serious. I thought, well, here's a unique way to make some extra money and possibly build a residual income. I didn't understand it. That's why I played in the industry. Then I ran into a mentor, a woman that basically took me under her wing and helped me finesse my business approach in network marketing to make it a business. And that changed everything for me, and built several large organizations, retired in 2012, and retired not because of my age, retired because I didn't think that there was a company that had the culture base that I knew you have to be full-time and long-term. And so sold my business and kicked back. We live out on the coast of Oregon, a little town called Manzanita, and it's just absolutely beautiful. It's a resort area, and I love rock hunting and fishing and some of the fun stuff of you're supposed to do when you're retired. I mean, I frankly don't think I can ever retire. Get too much energy. So basically, I'm doing this, and my good buddy Kai is calling me and telling me about this company named Seacret. And I had some preconceived ideas about skincare. I didn't know how I would fit into the skincare arena. I mean, here I was, in my mid-60s and never used skincare. And it just kind of blew it off, and Kai kept calling for 3 years. And so last August, I was literally standing in the middle of the river looking at a phenomenal agate that I was trying to figure out how to get my hand down in that cold water to get that agate. It was quite deep in the water, and the phone rings, and it's Kai. And he basically says, "Hey, listen, you've never given me the opportunity to show you really what this company's about." So I agreed to fly in and meet with the owner. And I sat down with Isaac Ben Shabbat, the owner of this company, for 3.5 hours. And Michaela, what we talked about was very, very unique to what most people would go in and they'll look at a company. A lot of people gravitate to the money. They say, well, how much money can I make? Basically what I did was I said, I want to talk about culture. And for 3.5 hours, that's what we talked about. We talked about who he is, who's his family. I mean, where's he going with this company? What's his ideas? Has he got a bigger vision than you and me? I mean, that's so important to have from the leadership. Who's running the company? Is he running the company, or is the field running the company? I mean, we've all run into this in the industry. So after 3.5 hours, I was completely convinced that this was a servant leadership culture. It fit who my wife and I are. It fit the paradigm that I was looking for as a long-term company. And by the end of the conversation, then I was ready to talk about comp plan. Then I was ready to talk about timing, product, and, international expansion, and, where's the systems. And so that really comes into where Kai plays a big part in what we do to build our business here. My personal sponsor is, he's a system-oriented guy. To get duplication is critical to build large organizations in this industry. So you have to have a system. So that's basically where then Kai and I, our conversation went. So from a story perspective, if you just took a kind of this global look at where I was at, I love the industry, felt like there wasn't a company out there that was culture driven, decided to retire, and, not happy with retirement. And then basically listened to what a real good friend of mine of 10 years finally said, listen, come see. And that changed everything. So that's kind of how I got here.
Well, I love that, because that's kind of, I flew out to Phoenix last month. I wasn't looking. I was like, it's not the right time. No, it's okay. Yeah. I'll just humor, Jess, who's my upline, and I'll just humor her, and I'll get on this call with this John guy, listen to him, and then I'll say, no thanks, have a nice day. But the culture thing's what really struck me, and you said come see, so I went, and I sat down with Isaac and listened to him talk, and was just mesmerized by him. And I thought, okay, he talks the talk. And then that night we went to dinner, and I'd never witnessed servant leadership the way it was at that dinner that night. Because, just really quick for everyone who's watching, you go to dinner at the CEO's house. It's incredible. And he asks all of the, I'm not going to go into rank, because I still don't quite understand rank, to be honest. But he asked all of these, top ranking people to stand up. And they all stood up, and then they served you dinner. And I've never witnessed that in another business, company, anything. I was even telling some of my friends in other network marketing companies what had happened, and they were like, what? Those are like the celebrities of our company. You serve them. And I was like, no, that's not how this works. It was so incredible to me that, these people are so willing to be, to help out. So that was something that just floored me. I just was like, oh my gosh, this is incredible, So.
Well, I had that experience too, Michaela. I went in on a one-on-one basis and sat down with Isaac and had dinner at a restaurant. Then Kai said to me, he says, well, now you got to come back and you have to go through an experience with their family. And I well, what do you mean? I met Isaac. I get a pretty good, I'm a pretty good judge of character, and I've got, human behaviors training where I can sit down and I can listen and try to figure out what's going on. He says, no, you come down. So I went down, and I took 5 people the next trip down to the home office. And I'd never experienced this before. So I went in and I took these were industry professionals. There was a couple that basically had run a network marketing company, very successful. There were 2 other people that were diamonds in other companies. And then the third person was a huge business guy that, has everything that he's touched. He's just turned it to millions. So basically here we are, we go to the, to this dinner, and there's only about 15 people there. And so Isaac said, you sit over here, John. So I go sit down, and the next thing I know, Isaac's bringing me a plate of food. I go, wait a minute, what? I can do that. He says, no, sit down. In a way that Isaac can say that, and it was so respectful, and it just blew me away. And then he comes and he brings me, he says, what would you like to drink? Would you like, a glass of wine? You want a glass of water? So he brings me everything that I need from silverware to a drink. I never get up. The people that are sitting at the table with me that I had invited in, they were mesmerized. The one guy was sitting at the other end of the table, and his mouth was down. He was like, he was checking. He couldn't believe it. So anyway, that's the experience, and it's one of the whys that drives me even harder now to build a business here. I want people to experience what we're experiencing, Michaela. I want people to realize that in the industry of network marketing, there is a company that is doing it right. And frankly, all I really want to do is be an integral part in building that company and making sure, like, you know, a mother bear guards her cubs, guard this culture piece that this company has that's so unique in the industry.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah.
I mean, I was floored when I sat with Isaac and he looked at me straight in the eye and said, I would never sell this company because it isn't mine to sell. And I thought, holy, you know, how many, you know, money is, you talked about money is a motivator for people, but he's sitting there, you know, very genuinely saying, I could never do that to, you know, all of these people because this is their company as well. So I love that. So we kind of now talked about, you know, your story and what brought you to Seacret, which is the culture piece, which is huge for me. That's one of my biggest things. Like, I love network marketing. I felt that I was missing, you know, that key element of culture and feeling, you know, of value and all that kind of stuff. So we talked about that. Why do you think right now is such a key time to join this company? Like, it's been around. For people that are watching that don't really know, I mean, I've mentioned it in our group. You know, it's been a successful company before it hit network marketing. It's super successful as it is now. But why do you think it's such like a key, you know, like a key time to jump in?
Well, understanding business, Michaela, basically companies go through certain growth, complicated arenas and different components about, you know, getting the foundation set. So it usually takes about a year to really get a foundation set, and that's where a lot of people come and go. I don't care what company it is. I don't care if it's culture driven or it's money driven. In that first year and a half to 2 years, you're going to have a lot of people come and go, and they just want to get that quick hit, and then they're gone. The company's now been in the is transitioning. Now, here's a piece that I think is so important to understand. Here's a company that's literally in 40 plus countries. This company is doing business right now, probably around 45, 47 countries. And only 7 of those countries are network marketing. We're going to open up Vietnam this year, and we've been invited into China.
Which is like, yeah. That's amazing.
But so the invitation's there. They're working on the paperwork as we speak. So you're looking at 2018, you know, this big, you know, excursion into China, which is going to be absolutely huge. So there's your international piece. I mean, I think about that. This is important. The hardest part of taking a network marketing company international is getting your products licensed.
Right.
These products are already licensed in 45 plus countries. So that piece is done for us. It's already. Now, think about this. They did $1.2 billion in product sales prior to going network marketing, which, you know, now when they open up a country, this is the other piece of that international expansion that's so important to understand. Let's say they go in and they open up Spain. Now, there's outlets in Spain, retail outlets for the company right now in Spain. So what happens is the company then says, okay, you no longer can open up another outlet, another kiosk, another storefront in Spain to do retail sales. You can no longer renew your lease. So if you have a lease, you run your lease out, so we're not getting into legal issues, but you can't renew your lease. And so they start shutting down. Now, guess what? All those people in Spain that literally like this product, guess what? Now they've got to come find you because you're an independent contractor. You're an independent agent for this company, and that's the only way that you're going to get the product in Spain is through an independent contractor. So you have this built-in, basically brand note, major brand already. People know it. They've used it. They've seen you. We run into that in the U.S. all the time. Okay, so now let's come back to the United States. When this company started to transition from retail sales into network marketing, they started in 5 countries, and the country that just absolutely exploded was Korea. And so a lot of focus, a lot of emphasis and energy went into Korea. Now they're doing, I think a little over 100 million a year in Korea right now. which left a void in the United States. Canada actually, in what I understand, is really doing well. The United States is this wide open playground for us. That's another timing window thing that I just absolutely, I mean, it gets me up early, puts me to bed late, realizing that here you have an established multi-million-dollar company, international, and the United States has not been tapped yet. I mean, you look at some of the large areas for network marketing: New York, Florida, Texas, California, Seattle, Washington. They haven't even been tapped yet. So basically, then you take that middle ground, and you know, because basically I talked about the two ends of the United States, Texas only in the middle. we have this great opportunity, Michaela, to be a part of the team that expands through the United States. And in my opinion, I've always built where I'm at and think globally. So basically, if we focus here in the United States and we get into an arena, let's say we get into Seattle, where a lot of people are connected through Seattle to Vancouver, Canada, which is very connected to Asia. And we're about ready to go play in Asia. We are open in Japan, by the way. Okay, we're open in Korea and Japan. So there's your stepping stone in the U.S. So what I would do is I would focus on trying to get into the Asian market in those metropolitans. So it creates another huge opportunity to go from there into an international market. So here's how I think. Instead of going out and fishing with a fishing pole, I'd rather fish with a net. So I can gather more fish with a net than I can with a fishing pole. And what I mean by that is build a network here in the U.S. And then when inside that network, you're going to have multiple, different nationalities that when we open up in their country, they then go over there and there's your net, instead of trying to go over there and figure out, how do I get into Spain? How do I get into China? How do I get into Vietnam? Well, talk to those people here and build here and get in those communities here. So in my opinion, that's one of the reasons I'm so excited, because we have an opportunity to be create major leadership here in the U.S., which then takes us, exponentially into the international market.
Right. Well, I agree, because that's the thing that really kind of tugged at my little network marketing heartstrings, because I was like, there are some companies that are already out there that are huge, and there's a lot of people, and everyone have the scarcity mindset, but I feel like timing is huge in anything. And when I heard, that America, the U.S. hadn't really been tapped into its full, yet, I'm just like, oh my gosh, there's so much opportunity. You already have incredible products. You don't have to, you don't have to say much about the products without people like their ears perking up, because you're like, okay, they were already an established company. All you've got to do is just introduce somebody to it, and they're, I was blown away. And so I think, most people are as well. So I'm excited.
Well, we have an opportunity now, Michaela, to do something really great. And I know that sometimes it's important to say, okay, I've got to cover my bills. That's a big component of becoming successful in network marketing. But on the other side of that is, for me, it's legacy. It's helping a single mom in the middle of Kansas who's working 3 jobs to survive, giving her an opportunity to basically break free and to own her life. This is the best business opportunity I've ever had my hands on. And to go back to what I said in the beginning, I've owned franchises. I've built traditional business. I've been in and around the network marketing arena for 40 years. And I feel blessed at this point to be a part of, to just be a small part of something very, very large here with Seacret Direct. And then the other thing that I truly believe, that our team has the ability to bring in and create the leadership that will take this company to the next level. I believe that with all my heart. We're attracting some of the finest people I've ever worked with. And it's about them joining a community and a culture that makes sense for them. So it's pretty exciting.
Well, I'm excited. So one last question really quick. I have to go get my daughter from school in just a few minutes. But I wanted to ask, if you had any advice for someone who's sitting on this fence, right? Like there's a lot of people that sit on this fence and they watch and they wait. Because I've been one of those people where I'm like, I don't know. And then they let fear hold them back. You know, what advice would you give them if they're like on that fence where they're just like, I think I want to do it, but they just, you know.
Well, yeah, one of the things that I would say to them is, let's have a conversation. That's, you know, get on the phone with you and myself, and let's talk about what's in it for them. And if we can create an avenue for somebody to win, then it, you know, it would make sense for them. And I believe that that's what's here. You know, that's number one. Number two is come to one of our team events at the corporate. I mean, here's another thing that is important, Michaela, is that if you had 20, 30 people that wanted to come in and see corporate at the same time, we'd create an event for for your team to come in and say, hey, do we really want to run and do this, or does it make sense for us as individuals and as a team? We can create that event. That's the second thing. The third thing is that people that are extremely serious, let's have a conversation with one of the founders, with Betty Perez and Isaac Ben Shabbat. I want to go back, and I hope it's okay here. I have to spotlight Betty Perez. Betty, when I first came in and I met with Isaac, I had not met Betty, and I heard the story, and here's a woman that basically changed the direction of this company at the age of 19. And then when she did that, Isaac and his brothers and his family and the ownership of this company said, wow, you realize that basically what Betty Perez did for us is save our bacon, because basically if you look at the world today, retail's just going down, and that's the direction they were going. And so there was a paradigm shift for these people that own the company, Isaac and his family. And so basically what they said is, Betty, thank you for doing this. Now we're going to give you a big chunk of this company. So she's not only the person that literally transformed the direction of the company, she basically, created this whole new environment for them to be successful in. So they gave her part of the company. So when I went in the second time, I basically hadn't met Betty, hadn't been around Betty. And so I came in, I made a mistake. I brought people in a day after the dinner, that miraculous dinner. Well, I heard it was going to be on a Friday. And so I had people come on Friday and it happened Thursday. So here I am, I'm sitting up there, I've screwed up. And so I've got, 15, 16 people that have not had dinner with the owner of this company. And so I'm walking through the home office, and Betty Perez, jumps out of her office and says, hi, John, I haven't met you yet, gives me a big hug and said, how's it going? Well, I told her what I had did, the mistake that I had made. She goes, no problem. She goes, you get your team together tonight and I'll have dinner with your team.
Wow.
I mean,
that's rare.
That's servant leadership. And so I got the team together. We met at 7:00, Michaela, and Betty didn't leave the dinner till 11:30 that night. She spent the evening with us. That group that was there, I mean, she just basically, I didn't have to say a word. She basically modeled servant leadership. She modeled culture. She modeled who this company is and where it's coming from. And from that day forward, I became a huge Betty Perez fan. Yeah. She's absolutely amazing. So I had to get that story in. And now I don't even remember what you asked, but
No, you're good. No, that's good, because it is. That's such a key part of all of this, especially for me. What really made that decision for me, because I was like, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna do it, but I don't really know, because there's all these different avenues. And when I met, you and Isaac and Betty, and I had that sit down, I was just like, how can I not do this? This is exactly who I am and the values I stand for, and they're in these other people. And so that for me was just that, I have to do this. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're going to do this and we're going to, make it awesome. So,
but see, and that's the key. It doesn't matter what happens. I know it's going to happen.
right.
I've been around this ball game for a long time, and what I'm seeing take place in this company is transformational in the industry. I've never seen anything like this in my entire career. So what's going to happen and when it's going to happen, I don't know. I can't tell you that. But what I can tell you, this is going to be one of the leading giants in this industry. And we have just begun. So this comes back to one of your questions is how do you get people to see what we saw? How do you get people to go, oh my gosh, I want to be a part of this team? Because that's the last piece. You can have a culture company driven. You can have a product that works like this. I can guarantee a product experience every single time. I've never been able to do that before. We've got a compensation plan that's phenomenal. Our timing window's amazing. The final piece to success in this industry is being on the right team that has a system. And that's where we're at. Kai Nguyen is a master at building. He's broke every record in the company. He made over $1.6 million, $1.7 million in the first 2 years. This guy knows what he's doing. I've made a lot of money, but I've never made that kind of money in that short period of time like Kai did. So here I am. I'm being a student of Kai's, and we've known each other for about 10 years. I mean, I just adore him and his wife. They're wonderful people. But he's a system-oriented leader. He's a servant leadership leader. And so what I would say to people is, come test the waters. Let's have the conversation. Let's get all your questions answered. Let's make sure that you see who we are as a team. Let's make sure you see who we are as a company. And then tell me yes or no. Don't tell me yes or no until you've seen the whole picture.
Right. I agree. Well, thank you. Now I'm all fired up.
Well, what an honor, Michaela. I love this venue and just sitting here having a conversation with you. I hope we touch somebody today. I hope that somebody that watches this video today goes, I want to be a part of that. I want to lock arms with Michaela and John, and I want to go out there and create a lifestyle for my family that I've never been able to do before. So if that's the case, call Michaela, get a hold of us. Let's have that conversation and let's get you started, because the company just released another promotion where we can put an extra $1,000 in your pocket on top of everything else we're doing. And that's another story. That's another conversation.
Another time, right? I know, right?
Right.
There's too much good stuff. No. Like Oprah, you get a car and you get a car. No. Yeah, I agree. I am looking for those people, I've built a team before and it was incredible and they were my family, and it's really hard. Tomorrow I'm officially letting go of that, and it's really scary and it's really hard, but I just know there are people out there that are like me, that are like you, that want to make a difference in the world. Yeah, they want to make money. Yeah, they want to when it boils down to it at the end of the day, they just want to make a difference. And that's what I'm out to do. And I know that's what you're out to do. So yeah, you guys want to get on the phone, send me a message. Let's do this because I'm ready. I'm ready to run.
Awesome.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You bet. My pleasure. And I'm available anytime you want to have one of these conversations and reaching out to, to your key people and center of influence. Let's do it.
All right.